I've always wanted a Mario Kart maker, but since Nintendo won't make one, it's time to take matters into my own hands. Today, Geozard, JH Sanvi, and I are on a mission to use our thousands of hours of experience to recreate 100 features from Mario Kart World inside of Mario Maker 2. Our first build is out of this world. In Mario Kart World, the rarest vehicle is the UFO. Just hop in to fly anywhere and abduct objects. I recreated one with a hard block shell on tracks, a hidden twister moving underneath, enemies, on-off thwomp detectors, and dotted line blocks. Now, when unsuspecting enemies walk under the UFO, they get sucked up and disappear forever. But since we can't actually control the vehicle, this Mario Maker UFO earns 4 aliens out of 5. We're off to a decent start, but to win the glorious Mario Maker Cup trophy, we need an average score of 3.5 or higher across all 100 features. Mario Kart World finally lets me feel like a pro skater. We can let Mario rail grind by using rails made of tracks above and below the normal path. Mario can jump on connected blue skull platforms to grind his way across until he jumps back onto the main track. It works pretty well, but we can't actually jump from rail to rail like in the real game. So that's 4 Tony Hawks out of 5. Feature 3 turns carts into boats to remove the worst part of any Mario game, underwater levels. To do this in Mario Maker 2, we raise the water level and make a bullet blaster staircase on steep slopes. Honestly, this recreation's great. It even has a slower speed when driving on the water versus driving on land. So that's an easy 5 dry Marios out of 5. Everyone loves driving from track to track in the intermission courses. It's an exciting and fun way to mix up the regular gameplay in Mario Kart World. So I'm gonna perfectly capture the fun in Mario Maker 2. Yeah, they seem the same to me. 5 sleepy Marios out of 5. My favorite moments in free roam mode are stumbling across P-switch missions. Luckily, we have those blue P-switches already in Mario Maker 2. Now we just need to create the mission using dotted P blocks and pink key coins. Mario must grab all 5 coins before the switch expires, similar to the 8 blue coins in Mario Kart World. But if he's too slow, he falls into the abyss. Our P-switch missions are solid. They earn 5 Ps out of 5. The iconic way to get items in any Mario Kart game is by grabbing a roulette box. We can make a simplified version of this by putting items into 4 different question blocks and setting them on a square track with an on-off switch. When Mario bonks his thick skull into the block, it will give him one of the 4 items and prevent him from taking any others. This concept's great, but the item selection doesn't change based on how far ahead you are in a race, so it earns 4 loot boxes out of 5. The new Yoshi food bag item gives characters a delicious speed boost and a delicious costume change. For ours, we can place a big sideways thwomp next to an exclamation block with the pathway pushing far to the right. When Mario drives into the bag, or in our case, the cat bell, he immediately changes costume and bursts forward. It works, but Mario isn't able to use it whenever he wants, so our food bag gets 3 cursed Yoshis out of 5. That was just the warm-up, but things are about to get way trickier. In Mario Kart World, Mario can now build up a charge while driving and then hop into the air. We mimic the charge jump with a cannon box mask. If Mario charges up and shoots into this clear pipe, an on-off trampoline activates at the perfect moment and allows him to jump this gap. This method is fun and creative, but only works with a very specific setup, so it earns 3 chargers out of 5. The Knockout Tour game mode is like a marathon race where if you fall behind, you're gone. To create this, Balloon Mario races against a shellmet above him. The shellmet bounces in note blocks, triggering an on-off switch that traps any player who's too slow. This idea forces players to be fast at each checkpoint, but it's not about placements like the real thing. Our Knockout Tour earns 3.5 knocks out of 5. Like the name suggests, the entire new Mario Kart game revolves around having an open world and being able to go anywhere. So I jumped into the World Maker and made a map where every path connects. This is the same, right? Alright, yeah, this one's bad. 1 Earth out of 5. One feature that makes the game feel so much more dynamic and immersive are the different weather effects. In Mario Maker 2, we can make rain by using these icicles way up high, or we can use the desert night theme to get a windy effect. These work well, but they don't have any randomness, so they earn 3.5 cursed suns out of 5. Hijacking a giant truck is something I never knew I needed. I made a moving truck out of hard blocks, grinders, and a shellmet shooting bullet blaster for destruction. It even disappears at the end like in Mario Kart. It's good, but it doesn't give the pure joy from crushing everything. So it earns 3 smashed Marios out of 5. To get a scrumptious speed boost in Mario Kart World, you can stay right behind another racer to start drafting. We make this with an on-off switch triggered by a thwomp right when Mario's underneath. The red blocks disappear to let Luigi fall under to get a boost with the conveyor belt, then pop back up ahead of Mario. Unfortunately, Luigi doesn't have to be close to Mario for this to work, and it can only happen where we made this setup. So it gets 2.5 rough drafts out of 5. Whew, at 2.5, this one actually drags down our average. If we get too many more like this, that trophy could slip away. Tuis are special piranha plants that use wind breath to carry items as they wobble around. We can recreate this with a twister under a piranha plant, an item, and a cloud block that moves up and down on a track. This looks pretty awesome, but our Tuis can't walk around, so it earns 4.5 kazooies out of 5. We've survived the first real hazards, and our average is still holding on, but these next recreations get crazier, riskier, and could break the game. The feather item lets players jump up ledges or over hazards. Ours uses a hidden thwomp to trigger an on-off trampoline, launching Mario like the feather would. Mario reaches the top route, but then the trampoline stops working. Sadly, we don't get to choose when to use it, so our feather earns 2.5 birdos out of 5. Mario Kart World's most fun and skill-based way to unlock characters is to get hit by the Kamek Orb. So, we just add a Magic Koopa here, let him hit Mario, and BAM! Yeah, this one's not real. 1 garbage can out of 5. Free Roam has a unique mission where Mario breaks item capsules to spew items everywhere. We mimic this with multiple question blocks that fall onto a shared track. When Mario hits it, the items explode out. This one's great, and it could have variations to make it feel like the real deal. So it gets 5 item explosions out of 5. If you don't want to actually play Mario Kart World, boy, do they have features for you. You can turn on smart steering, auto accelerate, and auto use item. We can do the same exact thing in Mario Maker 2 by finding a fully automatic car level and let Luigi win by doing absolutely nothing. This gets 5 empty-headed Luigis. Wall riding's kind of insane in Mario Kart World. We mimic it with moving bullet blaster walls. Mario jumps up after ditching his car. It works, but he can't stay in the vehicle while climbing, so it gets 3.5 abandoned cars out of 5. Coins normally boost your speed, but in Mario Maker 2, they just fill his belly. So, 5 snacks out of 5. Mario Kart tracks have a 3-lap version where you race around the loop 3 times. We create different laps by placing 3 key coins each on a different pathway using one-way doors to prevent backtracking. Once he goes through all 3, Mario gets a key to finish the track. 5 slaps out of 5. We conquered a bunch of smaller concepts, but now it's time to tackle big features and push Mario Maker 2 to its absolute limits. Wait, did you guys hear that?
Hey!
What? Who are you and how'd you get in here?
Security was weak, but that doesn't matter. I've come to challenge you.
I mean, I'm right in the middle of a video, but yeah, okay.
I bet I can build this Lego Technic Lamborghini Revuelto before you win 5 races with one.
You're going down. I'm racing with the exact same Lego Technic Lamborghini Revuelto in Asphalt Legends, a free-to-play arcade game that you can play on any platform. Not only does my Lego Technic Lamborghini Revuelto look awesome, but it has great speed and nitro stats too. Come on! Boom! That's 1! Doing tricks is super satisfying in this game, and I love this move for sweet, sweet destruction. Alright, that's 2! If you hit nitro and then hit it again in the blue bar, you get a perfect nitro, which is super cool. Okay, here we go. Boom! Lego Technic is organizing the Lego Technic Constructor Showdown, teaming up with Asphalt Legends to put on 4 time-limited events in-game from August 22nd all the way to September 7th. Each event features a different Lego Technic supercar, and if you register with the link below and are the fastest in one of the 4 events, you can win your very own Lego Technic set. Let's go, I see the finish line, come on, hang in there! Ah, we did it, that's 4 wins! Super easy to play Asphalt Legends on different platforms, so I can practice on my phone, my Switch 2, and my computer. Oh man, it looks like he's almost done building. I gotta race faster. Here we go, we're in the last stretch. Let's go! Come on! Woo! We win the challenge! What do you have to say for yourself now?
You win, so you can keep this. But you haven't seen the last of me.
Be sure to check out those links in the description below to download the game and register for the event. Thanks again to Gameloft and LEGO Technic for sponsoring this video. When racing, your kart combination makes all the difference. In Mario Maker 2, we can create a way to select your kart in a level by adding 3 pipes. Mario chooses his path and gets to use that kart for the entire race. The idea is pretty solid, but you get way less options than the original, so 4.5 pipes out of 5. Driving on top of the moving train is awesome in Mario Kart World, so I searched for a way to capture that next. I found this really cool train level where Mario can move around on top of a nice looking train. The saw blade wheels almost sell the illusion, but this train just sits there. So our train gets 2 rails out of 5. The new rewind feature in Mario Kart World allows players to undo the last few seconds of gameplay for instances like missing a jump. Our version uses custom auto scroll to make the floor underneath hidden, and we add trampolines to pop Mario back up to right before where he fell to try again. It feels like rewind, but you can't trigger it on command, so it's more like the level's just babying you. This gets 2.5 double triangles out of 5. Mario Kart World racers are always hungry, so Nintendo added these free vending machines that spit out food. We can make this by creating some pixel art out of blocks to match the design, then slap a blue pipe on the side to dispense whatever Mario's craving. This earns 5 hungry Marios out of 5. Occasionally when exploring the water in Mario Kart World, you can find this cool boat vehicle. My version discards chain chomps to steal their stumps and drops them onto a winged platform on a track. Mario can ride this boat and it bobs in and out of the water to feel similar to Mario Kart World. The feel is good, but you can't control the boat's movement, so it gets 3 sad chomps out of 5. Do you want to capture the perfect moment? Use photo mode. To make this, we can actually use a cool feature in the Nintendo Switch accessibility settings. First, toggle the zoom feature on, and then double tap the home button. Get the right zoom and angle, and get a screenshot of the moment you'll never forget. Pretty good, but there are way less options for poses and facing the camera than the original, so it gets 3 cameras out of 5. Mario Kart World has dynamic waves that makes driving on water actually interesting. To make this in Mario Maker 2, we use vertical cloud platforms and a line of winged cloud blocks all right on top of the water. Because the cloud blocks spawn at different times, it creates an awesome wave effect that Mario can actually jump on. This one turned out pretty great, but the blocks can get a little messed up if you turn around or change speed. Wavy water gets 4 waving waters out of 5. Mario Kart World is one of the first Mario games to include a day-night cycle that happens every 24 minutes. Our version uses a pipe to swap to the subworld, where we can use the same course theme but swap it to the night version. It's a quick way to cheat it, but it's based on progression in the level instead of real-time passing, so it earns 4 scary moons out of 5. In the DK Spaceport track, there's a giant robot Donkey Kong that throws barrels at you the whole race. We want to make him, so we create the giant blocky Donkey Kong that spits spike balls out at Mario. Using note blocks makes the spike ball bounce around like those barrels. It looks awesome, a giant Donkey Kong robot spitting spike balls like barrels, but it's limited in size and range, so our Robo DK earns 3 robots out of 5. So by now we've built giant robots, moving trains, and even working vending machines, but to win the Mario Maker Cup, we still need to keep the average score above 3.5. The next batch of recreations are even tougher. The Ivy Piranha Plant is one of my favorite objects in all of Mario Kart World. They create a growing vine and you can control its path. We made ours by using exclamation mark blocks that trigger right before Mario lands on them, using falling spike balls that spawn into the level. Our version gives the same feel of the vine being created as we go, but it doesn't allow us to control the pathway, so our Ivy Piranha earns 3 poison ivies out of 5. When Mario goes off a blue gliding ramp, his kart turns into an airplane and he can fly through the sky. Mario grabs a bullet bill mask, ditches his kart, and rockets across to another empty car, which we clear with this sneaky bob-omb trick. This one feels really fun because you're actually flying across the level, but Mario isn't able to take the car with him, so our gliding earns 3.5 glide-ons out of 5. One of the coolest enemies in Mario Kart World, called the Batadon, jumps in a big arc pattern and smushes the player. Our version uses a thwomp on an arched track with these one-way walls to make sure Mario only gets smushed from the sky. This one's surprisingly faithful to the original, so it earns 4.5 Moais out of 5. When Mario drives off a ramp, he can do tricks in the air and get a slight speed boost when landing on the ground. Our version in Mario Maker 2 allows him to jump off the ramp and hit his head to trigger a red POW block. That causes a chain reaction destroying nearby red POW blocks to open up this dash panel below to give him an extra boost. I like the creative solution here, but you need to set this up for every trick. So our trick earns 4 tricks out of 5. These rampy womp enemies can slam you or become a ramp. To mimic this, I'm using a big thwomp that can slam down into a pit the same size as it. Using red track blocks that can move upward, the gap gets closed so Mario could get crushed, or it can open allowing the thwomp to slam down and create a path for Mario. This one works pretty well, but kills the poor enemy, so it earns 4 thwomp thwomps out of 5. The Kamek Orb creates chaos on the track depending on which enemy it picks. We can make this happen too by putting a giant Magic Koopa in the level to hit this hard block. Once the block transforms, enemies that were hiding up above can drop down and rain on Mario. It really works to capture the chaotic nature of the item. And it could work to have enemies fall in front of you too, so our Kamek Orb gets 4.5 PlayStation missiles out of 5. Oh man, Nabbit is so annoying in Mario Kart World. He just runs away forever and gives you a measly coin snack when you finally catch him. We can make something similar by placing a big coin with wings attached to a winged Lemmy on a bunch of tracks that switch around. Mario needs to figure out the movement to bump into the Lemmy and grab the coin safely. This one works well for the chase part, but Lemmy doesn't stop when you bonk him and actually kills Mario. So this one earns 2.5 annoying Nabbits out of 5. The Mega Mushroom item lets Mario squish players and obstacles he drives over. We make this by making a level in the Super Mario Bros. Style, so Mario can have this Mega Mushroom, and then we give him a Goomba Shoe, a Spiked Shelmet, a star, and a Koopa Clown Car. Now Mario can destroy everything in his path, but instead of getting squished, they just die. Our Mega Mushroom gets 2.5 squished Marios out of 5. I'm a big fan of hidden collectibles in games like the Peach medallions in Mario Kart World. To make these, we simply place big coins around the level. In order to make them accurate though, we have to make them really hard to see and reach until we get close to them. Oh, and we're not going to let the player know how many are in this area or give them any way to track the ones they found. Rant over, but I think we actually nailed this one. It earns 5 unrendered Peach coins out of 5. Shortcuts let players get ahead in a course, and most of them need a mushroom to pull off. In our version, Mario can grab a Goomba mask and go through the bottom route by damage boosting through the icicles. Then he gets a speed boost to get an advantage. Honestly, pretty decent. Our shortcut gets 4.5 shortcats out of 5. We're barely above our target score of 3.5. We need to get a quick boost with some playable characters. Mario, 5 mustaches. Luigi, 5 green Marios. Toadette, 5 mushrooms with hair. Toad, 5 hairless mushrooms. We have a driving Koopa like in Mario Kart World, but we can make him go to a certain direction by using custom auto scroll and having him chase the hidden player underneath. 4.5 turts out of 5. Stingbee can use the same custom auto scroll trick, but this time the player hits an on-off block to switch conveyors, so it looks like Stingbee is moving with the car. Not actually a playable character though, so it gets 2.5 Bs out of 5. Baby Mario, 4 babies with mustaches. Baby Luigi, 4 green mustached babies. Alright, that helped us out a little bit. Hopefully we can stay above our target to win the Mario Maker Cup trophy. In Balloon Battle, players try to pop each other's balloons using items like shells and bananas. Points are earned for hits, and the player with the most at the end wins. Our version uses a key as a balloon for each player to start, and then you can use a Koopa shell or bounce on another player's head to steal their key. Players battle it out until the Shelmet on-off timer is up. They run through 3 key doors to make sure they have all the balloons and win. This is a very creative and close way to make the game mode work, but because the items are limited and none of the players are in carts, I give this one 3 deflated balloons out of 5. A super useful mechanic in Mario Kart World is the ability to quickly spin turn 180 degrees by holding brake and accelerate at the same time. We use Balloon Mario and Sideways Springs to give him a quick direction switch too. Our version is overpowered because he keeps all of his momentum, where in Mario Kart World you lose your speed. Because of that, our spin turn earns 3 spinning wheels out of 5. In the Coin Runners battle mode, you win by collecting the most coins out of every player. You get coins by driving toward them or stealing them from other players. In Mario Maker 2, we can use a clear condition to collect coins and play in online versus mode. Each player races to gobble up those tasty coins, and then race to the goal to win. This version works very closely to Mario Kart World, except we don't have a way to steal coins from other players. So our Coin Runners earns 4 running coins out of 5. Speaking of playing against people online, we can make our online mode work through Mario Maker 2's multiplayer versus mode. I would give this a perfect score, but Mario Maker 2's online is laggy and not great. So, online multiplayer earns 4 weak signals out of 5. Mario Kart races have this iconic countdown before you're allowed to start. We recreate the countdown with a Spiny that bounces on note blocks that eventually drops a Muncher into a Bob-omb. The explosion breaks this bullet bill launcher and allows Mario to start the race. It works great! Our countdown earns 5 numbers out of 5. When starting a race, if you hit the accelerate button at the perfect time, you gain what we call a rocket start boost. We can make this by adding a star that falls right when the race starts, and if Mario times his movement right, he can get a mega boost to get ahead. This works great at the beginning, but it's overpowered because Mario gets the speed boost the whole time he has the star. Our rocket start earns 3 rockets out of 5. Everybody loves to shoot items forward in Mario Kart World, so we can give Mario a cannon box mask that he can use while driving in the Koopa car to destroy blocks and obstacles in his way. The mechanic works well, but the ammo's unlimited, and you can only shoot the one item, so this one gets 3 shoes out of 5. The coin block gives racers some delicious banana-flavored coins while also spewing some on the track. Our recreation can't move with us while we drive and only gives coins to whoever hits it, so it gets 3 boxes out of 5. There's some really cool designs for karts in Mario Kart World, like the Cloud 9. My version is just a Lakitu cloud on a track with donut blocks underneath to look like wheels. This is pretty bad. You can't control the movement, so it gets 1 cloudless Lakitu out of 5. Free roam mode has some really cool events that happen occasionally. To make this, we can place items with parachutes that fall down into a group near the player. Unfortunately, we can't make them random items or have them happen randomly, so it earns 3 reigns out of 5. Speaking of items, let's see how well we can recreate them to keep our average up. Some items from Mario Kart World are the same as in Mario Maker 2. Stars let you go fast and destroy stuff. 5 Zatars. Boomerang attacks things in front of Mario and then comes back. We have that too, but we got unlimited ammo. 4.5 boomers. Throw fireballs with the fire flower. Yep, we got that with unlimited ammo. 4.5 spicy meatballs. You can throw bob-ombs to explode on contact. Our version only explodes after a while, and you can't hold it while driving. 3.5 bobbies. The bullet bill item is one of the best in all of Mario Kart World because it gives you a speed boost, steers for you, and bonks other players out of the way. To mimic this, we give Mario a Super Mario Bros. 2 mushroom, then grab and throw a bullet bill. This lets Mario float above the track and eat sweet, sweet gold, but it's much slower. So our version earns 2 bowls out of 5. Dodging green shells and red shells in Mario Kart World is one of the most satisfying feelings. In Mario Maker 2, we can create those same shell attacks by exploding a Koopa and dropping a spring from a track, so the shell bounces toward Mario. Pretty solid, but they will always attack in the same pattern at the same spot, so ours earns 4 deshelled Koopas out of 5. Our meter is slowly climbing back up, but we haven't covered most of the enemies and obstacles yet. Goombas in Mario Kart World slow the player down even if Mario lands on their head. We give ours Muncher hats so they can't be defeated, and they damage Mario instead. They get 4 Goombas out of 5. Both games have bonsai bills, and they both work the same way. 5 bills out of 5. Piranha plants, 5 piranhas. Fire piranha plants, 5 spicy piranhas. Mario Kart World has NPC cars with bob-ombs attached that explode when you run into them. We recreate this by placing ignited bob-ombs in Koopa Clown cars and giving Mario one as well. This is close, but our version is actually harder as the bob-ombs always move toward Mario and don't stay on the road. Our bob-omb cars earn 3.5 kabooms out of 5. Pipes, 5 pokies out of 5. Pokies, 5 pipes out of 5. Porky Puffers in Mario Kart World act mostly as an obstacle that slows you down if you run into it. Ours is the exact same enemy, but he chases after Mario and they can defeat him in a single chomp. Ours also can be defeated by bonking the top of it, so even though they look the same, they act very different. Our Porky Puffer earns 4 porks out of 5. Rocky Wrench appears in Mario Kart World as an obstacle that pops out of the ground and slows you down if you run into it. We use the same enemy, but he throws deadly tools into Mario's face, and if Mario bonks it, Mario takes damage. So it earns 4 wrenches made of rocks. You'll see spike enemies riding in the back of pickup trucks throwing spike balls in Mario Kart World, so I recreated this by placing a spike on a platform connected to a track. This allows the spike to move while still throwing spike balls at Mario until the track takes him off the road and Mario is safe again. Works pretty well, but Mario's able to defeat the spike balls and Spike in our version, but not in Mario Kart. So Spike earns 4 curse green guys out of 5. Whew, those enemies helped a little bit, but we have to go back and get those big features now to be truly worthy of winning that Mario Maker Cup. The mode Mario Kart is most known for is called Grand Prix, where the player races on 4 different tracks in an attempt to get the highest score over those 4. To make this, I'm showing off J.H. Seanby's recreation of the Mushroom Cup tracks in Mario Maker 2. And then we can connect those tracks in a super world in the World Maker tool. This is a great way to keep the courses together, but there's no built-in way to track points based on performance, so our version gets 4.5 JH zombies out of 5. Most tracks in Mario Kart World have different paths you can take. We can simulate this in Mario Maker 2 by creating 2 paths, one on top of the other, where one has that sweet, sweet gold. Simple, but effective. It gets 5 Splits Marios out of 5. If you want to set up your own race rules, you can use the Versus Race mode in Mario Kart World. To mimic this, we create a screen where Mario picks what CC he wants to race on, and then picks how difficult it is. Once he's picked his settings, he races through a track with hazards to complete it. This is a cool way to let Mario customize the race, but it doesn't create computer players to race against, and the options are very limited. So our version earns 2 vases out of 5. I thought about making something really complicated for the helicopter, but then I realized it works the same as something we already have. The helicopter just moves in all directions slightly slowly, so we're going to use a Koopa Clown Car. The only difference is that the helicopter expires after a while, and ours doesn't, so this one gets 4.5 choppers out of 5. Time trial mode in Mario Kart World lets players race alone to practice going as fast as they can. Our version starts with 40 seconds on the timer, and Mario needs to complete the race before the time expires. If he messes up at all, he has to restart the race, but with enough speed and precision, Mario can get to the goal and set a world record. This recreation's good, but it's missing the chance to race against ghosts, so it earns 3 clocks out of 5. Mario Kart World has dynamic music that matches the vibe of the moment. We can make the same thing work by creating music levels that customize the experience while adding gameplay right in the middle. This works but takes up a lot of the level to make music, so it gets 4 Kirby's out of 5. The Mecha Trike is a cool looking cart that I think I can recreate. We can use the Koopa Clown Car, but add a ceiling so Mario can't fly off. It works okay, but it's not that good. 3.5 Mecha Koopas out of 5. You know those Mario Kart World panels that give Mario a boost when he drives on it? Yeah, we got those too. 5 boot panels out of 5. The next object's really annoying to run into, the arrow field. To make ours spicy, I put arrow signs inside of conveyor belt slopes, so if the player runs into it, they will be slowed down. This one gets 4.5 Stottles out of 5. We're in the home stretch with the last 17 features, and our score needs another boost. Time to pull out my secret weapon. We're going to rapid fire characters, all using this same setup. I'm going to put the characters in a Koopa Clown Car and use the custom auto-scroll trick with Mario hiding underneath the stage. The character follows Mario's movement, and we can set up a course with semi-solids, vertical trampolines, and sideways trampolines to go wherever we want. So, Cheep Cheep earns 5 Sheep. Bowser gets 5 Browsers. Pokey gets 5 Gnocchi. Spike earns 5 Bikes. Bowser Jr. gets 5 Spooners. Fishbones earns 5 Fish Clones. Dry Bones wins 5 Wet Phones. Monty Mole gets 5 Monty Poles. Rocky Wrench gets 5 Bench. Piranha Plant gets 5 Piranha Pants. And Goomba gets 5 Roombas. We're so close now. We just can't mess up the last 6 features, and we can do it. Mario Kart World gives you stickers for pretty much any achievement in the game. To make this, we can put one of those drawn comments next to a big coin to make it feel like when a player gets it, they've unlocked the sticker. This one's a bit of a stretch, so it earns 2 ripped stickers out of 5. At the end of some missions, there's a goal pole, just like in the end of classic Mario games. We have those, 5 goals out of 5. If you want to fly in Mario Kart World, just drive over one of these glide ramps. We can capture the blue color with snake blocks and get the gliding ability to work with the bullet mask. Then have Mario drop into an empty Koopa car and keep driving when he lands. It's a bit clunky to ditch the car to fly then land in another car, so it gets 3.5 blue snakes out of 5. Mario Kart World has some moments that bring in giant tornadoes that spit Mario into the sky. Luckily, we can use twisters and a bullet bill mask to have Mario launch up. 4.5 swirls out of 5. The Star Rain event feels like you've hit the jackpot. To do this, we can have stars bounce around and all fall from above Mario. Pretty darn good. 4 tar out of 5. Lakitu's always picking racers up who go out of bounds on a track. Our version uses vertical tracks with blue skull platforms underneath and custom auto scrolls so players can't see the bottom. If Mario falls, a blue skull platform moves him back up. Our version is much nicer because you don't lose much progress and you don't have to see this smug-looking demon. 4 laughing Lakitus out of 5. It is time to calculate our final score. And the average is 3.95. We win the Mario Maker Cup. To see how I recreated every enemy for Mario Wonder inside Mario Maker 2, click on the video on screen now. Make sure to subscribe to JH Sonby and Geozard for helping with this awesome video. I'm Arrowstotle, and thanks for watching.